Welcome back to the tap, ladies and gentlemen. It is my honor to be speaking into this microphone, having my voice recorded, and then getting it spewed back out into the digital airwaves for your listening pleasure. So let's get to it. On tap today, we have none other than my boy, SFPD's own Kerry Patrick Mullins, and he has recently leveled up in the adulting world. Yes, he is now a level 1 father. His wife Amanda, level 1 mother, and they've been parenting for about a month and a couple days. They brought little baby Lincoln into the world. She's a beautiful little girl, just this little ball of mush. And I went and visited her and met her for the first time. Not a lot to say. She's a little rude. Just slept through my entire visit there, but that's okay. I won't hold it against her. So I talked to Kerry because Amanda was taking care of the baby. I talked to Kerry about what it's like being a father, about what parenting is all about, what he's learned, and maybe he's got a little bit more respect for what his parents went through raising him. So I just gained a lot more perspective on what life has been bringing him. And then we also talk a little bit about what it's like being a police officer in this shit show that we refer to as 2019 United States of America. So get some insight, get some extra perspective. I know I did. And as always, sit back, relax, and enjoy the motherfucking show.
Trying to get money to cash out. Like you lick your arm if you're looking for a handout. I've been on the move for a long time. Fighting with the man on my shoulder, I was dealing with self-doubt. All my life I've been the fucking underdog.
I don't know, just sort of work, but this is like some kind of reunion from K-Sun Radio. It's pretty good.
K-Sun Radio.
You
You're
remember
here listening to The Guardian and Uncle Tony. We're over here talking about the San Francisco 49ers. They're 2-0, folks. Oh, man, look out. Jimmy Jesus is grabbing the ball, throwing it deep. He's got a man. It's Deebo Samuel. He's at the 30, the 20, the 10. Oh, my gosh, it's Randy Wright. He's getting sacked again in Sacramento State. Oh, Lordy.
I was talking trash about Randy Wright like years ago, and at my buddy's house we were doing the Great American Challenge, where you're supposed to smoke an ounce of weed, drink a 30-pack of beer, a fifth of hard liqueur, eat a large pizza, and then you put
I don't even know her.
Kerry Mullins not
What's there
nervous.
to be
Kerry
nervous
Mullins ain't nervous.
So my partner, Cullen Roach, went to college at UC Davis.
UC Davis?
And he knew Randy Wright.
So tell people, first of all, identify yourself, sir.
My name is Batman.
You're not Batman. Wait. I mean, you could be. You have that tan line around your face.
Oh.
The Batman of San Francisco, where you're
That Batman
you're
of
in
San
a-
Francisco.
you're in a rainbow outfit instead of a black one.
Yes.
A rainbow cape, sorry.
Very rainbow cape.
Just throwing flowers at everybody,
Um,
wishing them well.
Yes, we accept everyone in San Francisco. It's a beautiful place.
It is. It is.
My name is Kerry.
Carrie. Middle name,
Patrick.
last name,
Mullins.
but better known
The
as on the realm of Facebook.
Patrick Collins or Mary Collins?
Mary
I prefer
Collins.
Mary Collins.
You are a Mary Collins.
Very much so.
Very
much
merry.
so.
Ever since I've known you.
Yes,
Quite merry.
What's my favorite holiday?
Holiday. It's got to be St. Patrick's Day. It's green.
No, you're wrong. It's
Irish.
Doc Holiday. He was in Tombstone.
Oh!
I'm your huckleberry.
We watched that when the Dick family. We meet up. For those who don't know, the Dick family is part of the whole fraternity of Sigma Alpha Epsilons, where I met Mary Collins here.
That's a lie.
I was
we met him in
sucked in.
freshman year, then I recruited him.
Recruited. That's a nice way. What a politically correct way to label the abuse that I was subjected to.
Milk.
It wasn't milk. But besides the point, the Dick family and I, it's our little segregated. We segregated ourselves right into different families within the fraternity, and we played a drinking game to. Well, we tried to play a drinking game to Tombstone, and I don't know. It's like anytime you see a mustache, or anytime somebody gets shot, or every time Wyatt says no, and just that guy really lived.
Oh yeah, yes he did.
Wyatt Earp.
Unfortunately, my wife has yet to see the movie Tombstone.
Clearly, you're not beating her
I
enough.
have it taped, and we will be able to watch it someday. Right, babe? She nodding her head.
She got a nod. Theater of the mind. There's a lovely wife with a little baby. It is Amanda Mullins.
Yes.
And
Amanda
Lincoln Logs Mullen.
Lincoln Logs Elaine Mullins.
Lincoln Logs Elaine Mullins. And she is a month and 3 days old.
First of her name.
First of her name.
A month and 3 days old. Born on the second greatest day in all of days. Number 1, July 10th, 1991.
Yes.
Then the other day is August 14th. Would you agree with me, Uncle Tony?
I would agree with you because that's my birthday. And I'll never forget Lincoln's birthday because I'm horrible at it. It was good, but August 14th, 2019.
2019.
A day of reckoning. What a great segue to the first question.
First question.
I wrote down some questions.
Did we want to have a baby in a Trump America? Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yes. Very American.
She is.
Lincoln.
I thought you were going to name her Donald Trump. Donna Trump.
We almost went with Donna.
Donna would have been good.
And then we almost went Melania.
Melania.
But we realized she has way better hair than both them. So
Way
we had to
better.
go with Lincoln, who had wonderful hair and a little bit of a beard. And unfortunately, my daughter has a little bit of facial hair.
I was going to ask if Abe was the namesake for her. And she needs to live up to those, she needs to unsegregate or desegregate once again. Because United States 2019 is getting a little hairy.
Getting a little cranky.
People are dividing themselves. I thought we were the United States, brother.
We are. Donald's trying to make it united, but people keep fighting him.
There's so many this is probably episode number numero Diaz. I think
Diaz?
there's some record. I believe that's 5,000 in Spanish. Joking. Yeah, number 10.
Number 10.
And there's so many different points of views politically, and it's just when we're again, I will not name him. He was at Dick Retreat, and we're like, oh yeah, Kerry had his tank top on his birthday of Trump with a machine gun and a eagle on his arm. It's a MAGA hat, everything. When people automatically assume, okay, you wear a MAGA hat, you have an affiliation, that you're just this crazy, racist, outrageous piece of poo that stinks up a mile high, when you're probably one of the most easy people to have a conversation with and can take criticism. You can be like, hey, I disagree with your point of view for XYZ with a smile on your face. There's no malicious intent. At least that's what I see. Or unless you have, maybe I haven't seen the swastika tattooed on your ass.
Nope.
Just
no
yet.
tattoos.
Mm-mm.
No.
But it's no matter what people think of it, you're SFPD.
San Francisco Police Department.
And you've dealt with all different flavors of people. All down the soda flavors of individuals. You've tasted all these flavors.
Yes. There's a lot of different people, a lot of different backgrounds, especially in San Francisco. All joking aside, San Francisco, we deal with people who come from really rich backgrounds, really poor backgrounds, people who are their parents and their grandparents and their great-grandparents came from all different walks of life, or they came from Europe 300 years ago, and then there's people who just came to America a week ago.
There's a rich heritage. There's so many different cultures, and
Definitely.
there's so much. It's just rich with culture. If it was a cake, it would be multi-layered.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So many different colors.
And I mean, people describe it as a melting pot, and that really is a great description of San Francisco. There's a lot that is thrown into one pot, and it's melted, and
it's better than Oakland, you'd say?
San Francisco. Well, I'm biased, right? I work there.
Yes, absolutely.
I haven't spent as much time in Oakland, so I can't really say that. But San Francisco is better in my opinion because I've spent a lot of time there.
A lot sexier.
Very sexy.
Taller buildings, clearly better people.
The Warriors are coming to San Francisco. They're not coming to Oakland. They're leaving Oakland.
It's not an accident.
The Raiders are leaving Oakland, going to Vegas, another sexier city.
The Raiders. Well, we can get into football talk later, but I was going to keep this rounded back to the baby. August 14th, 2019. Do you recall the day?
I do recall the day. It was a
Describe
glorious day.
Describe that day. What happened? What were the emotions?
So
all that jazz. Right,
so you want like the whole lead up?
Give just tell your story about what it was like.
My wife, she went into labor at 1:30 in the morning on the 13th of August.
How convenient.
Yes.
How
And
convenient.
we wanted to have a natural birth. We wanted it to be no medication, no sort of help from the doctors. Just the body's going to naturally push the baby out, and then the doctor would be at the other end catching it.
So if the way that happens, she goes under a squat rack with 225 on, goes down, and then on her push back up, they put a basket underneath, and
Swish.
That's all it is.
All net.
So did you guys use a cloth net or like the chain link net?
Those ones always sound
There
cooler.
you. I love the swish of that. We can get to. I want to ask you what your favorite sports sound of all time is, but let's get to that sports sound of all time. But after that, let's get back. So labor happened, and before I digress the conversation any further.
She had labor for basically 37 hours. It wasn't until 11:30 the next morning, so the 14th, where and then at that point we had to use some artificial stimulants to help progress the labor to make the baby come out, because they didn't want her to have her water broken over 24 hours because there was a chance of infection. And so at 11:30, Amanda had finally gone to sleep because she'd been awake for, at that point, that was 35 hours. She'd been awake for 35 hours straight, so she finally was able to like take a nap, and she's still having contractions at this time. And then all of a sudden, her mom, her dad, myself, and her are in this delivery room, and 6 or 7 doctors come running in because the baby's heart rate just stopped. And it was probably because the baby had been coming down to give birth, and the baby was coming through, and it might have pinched its umbilical cord or what have you, but the heartbeat just stopped. So they come rushing in, and they wake Amanda up, and they're telling her turn over, roll over, and she rolls over, and then the heartbeat comes back, and then they're like, "Hey, you're ready to push. Like the baby's like, I can see hair. Like,
it's coming.
It's time to come.
She's coming now.
Yeah, she's coming. Yeah, because we didn't know what the sex of the baby was. So they so that was pretty crazy because they sent her parents out. They brought in a crash cart. A C-section at that point was possible.
It got real serious real quick.
Just like that. Like we were just chilling, right? Playing. I think we're playing a card game for pennies. And then it got really serious real quick, and it was like, okay, it's on. Yeah. And then she pushed for approximately 2 hours. And then I was imagining, for all you first-time fathers out there, or mothers who wives are having babies or what have you, I was imagining that you'd first see the top of the head, and then you'd see the ears and the eyes and the nose, the mouth, the chin, down to the shoulder, the nipple line, the belly button, if it's a boy or a girl.
You had a front row seat to all this?
Oh yeah. I was mesmerized. This was one of the coolest things. And in fact, if any of you guys listening to this want are having a baby and you want someone there and you're looking for someone, I'm down, because it was a lot of fun.
Is this intriguing to you?
Very intriguing. Very intriguing. And
you're sick.
I'm twisted. Twisted. The baby. So once the head comes out, or once the doctor basically has a full grasp of it, they just pull the baby out, like Simba from The Lion King, and just pull it up. And it was my job to be, hey, is it going to be a boy or girl? Like, I'm supposed to announce it to the doctors and to the nursing staff, and to Amanda, of course. And so once they pull it out, like, I wasn't ready for them to pull it out. I thought it was gonna be a slower process.
They just yank.
They just pull it out with their hand. They just grab it
by the head.
By the head.
So, I was always
out of the vagina.
A little. What? Oh my god. I don't know what that is. When the water breaks, I'm always confused. How does the baby get oxygen? Is it through the umbilical cord still, or
so
like through the blood is just pumped?
Everything's the baby's being fed through the umbilical cord, and that's how it's getting its heartbeat and everything like that. And once the baby comes out, it's still connected to the umbilical cord, but they have you cut it. Mm-hmm. And now the baby's breathing on its own. The baby already breathes on its own. Like, when she came out, she was screaming and crying, getting her first breaths of air. But that's good. You want that to happen.
Yeah, per the Mullins.
You'd rather have a baby crying than not crying, because hey, it's
what's
breathing.
Going on. Yeah, exactly. Something's going right. Per the Mullins tradition, you bit the umbilical cord. Bit it in half. Yeah.
With my canine.
Did you have an innie or outie belly button? This is big. This is a big deal.
She has an innie.
Very good. Well, good call. Very good on both of you.
Yeah, but you leave the
umbilical
cord. You leave the umbilical cord in the belly button until it, like, so you snip it, and then there's like probably, I don't know, 2.5 inches of umbilical cord left attached to the belly button, and it just stays in there until it falls out.
It'll just rot off or something?
Yeah, it just rots off.
They put like a clothespin on it.
Exactly. They pinch it off.
Oh my God.
And then she also is in this thing called a placenta, which is like this bag where she's basically, that's her home.
Yeah.
And she's in that bag the entire time when she's in Amanda's tummy, or the mother's tummy, and they show you the bag after, and some people eat the thing.
Wow.
No.
Ugh.
No. So Lincoln decided she's too good for her home. It's time for me to leave.
She said, "Mama, I'm moving on out."
So people eat the bag
People eat the bag.
raw.
I think they cook it.
That's
They might eat it raw.
disgusting.
I wouldn't be surprised if some.
I would. You know what?
What do you say, babe? I guess you can do a pill for me.
Jesus Christ. So what? Yeah, I'm sure there's tradition behind it, maybe a
Yeah.
connection with the child,
It's
but
actually supposed to be very healthy for you.
I'm
Like,
sure there's
it's
a
good
market
protein.
out there for.
But you think, if you're the mother
placenta.
and you're eating the placenta of your baby, you're eating
Isn't
yourself.
that cannibalism to a certain extent?
I
Like
think
it's part
even
of
worse than
human.
because you're eating yourself. It's like, oh, look at this finger, looks yummy. I'm gonna eat my finger.
Well, you eat your own burgers, don't you?
Who doesn't?
That's what I'm saying. It's like, what's the difference? Is that cannibalism?
No, because I feel like that's. I feel like it.
It's a
a
byproduct.
A booger is like drinking pee, right? You
Oh.
know, it's just frowned upon.
Easy. It's frowned upon, but I mean, we all do it, right?
Yeah.
Don't we?
Yeah.
No? Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry. We went from a very wholesome topic and just completely driven this conversation car off the side of a cliff.
It's okay.
We're still alive. We're back on track, I want to say.
There was a road down there.
So it's just the word placenta. We couldn't handle it.
We
The
actually
road
thought
up.
about
So
naming her placenta.
that would be a beautiful name.
I thought so too.
Plessy?
Plessy.
Plessy.
Plessy. Hey, Plessy.
So she's born. Who gets to hold her first? They immediately give it to Amanda?
Yeah, so you go immediately to Amanda because this thing called like skin to skin, and it kind of calms the baby down, and then you try to see if she'll latch on and feed her kind of thing.
Immediately, like after.
Immediately, it's quick.
Just establish that connection.
And so Amanda was just really, really excited and really, really happy, and of course I was as well. And you're just kind of overcome with emotions because you had this thing inside you, especially for the woman, for 9 months, and then the baby comes out, and you're just so happy because it's healthy and it's yours, and you're proud of all the hard work that you did because, I mean, it's incredible. You grow a human being with a spine and fingers and toes and a head and eyes and nose and ears all within your belly. Like the woman body does so much. I mean, the only thing that's
it's inhuman. Just could you grow a child within you?
I can't.
I could not. I'm
a male.
To grow a child within you is, I don't know. It just shows what, and you sitting there watching the whole thing, the birthing happen. It just shows what the human body is capable of.
Oh yeah, and it was awesome watching the baby come out. Like it was, I was so happy that. So when I got engaged and when I got married, it's awesome, but it's also terrible because you only get to hopefully have that moment happen to you once in your life because it's
good.
One of the best days of your life is your engagement, and one of the best days of your life is your wedding. But also having a kid is another one. But the great news about having a kid is you get to have another kid potentially if you want.
You need a starting lineup. All you got is a point guard.
Yeah, all you guys are point guard. Gotta get a shooting guard, small forward, power forward, center, and then a 6-man off the bench.
How would you describe? It's been a month and 3 days. These are going to be some long-winded questions. How does the love compare, like a father's love now? This is so new. I don't. Has it been able to set in yet? Have you contemplated who she is to you? Like, this is your daughter, right? This is something I've never experienced, but that is your Amanda's daughter, and there's love that you have for your friends, your parents, family, but this little tiny thing, this little goo bag, is yours now.
I don't know if there's really words to describe it. You just look at I look at her and she can do no wrong, right? She's perfect. She's pure. She's so innocent. She's just so sweet, but she just doesn't do much. She just lays there.
It's a tough job being a baby.
And you love her. You love her like she's your daughter. I don't know. Like I think of how much I love my dog, right? Which is different. It's technically property, but I still look at him as my son, and he's my little buddy, and I love him so much. But it's now different with a human being.
Oh, yeah.
And I still love him,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just a different kind of love. And like I said, you look at her and it's more of an excitement of love because of all the potential, and you just think of all the things that you're gonna be able to do with this little one. Growing up with her, like playing catch with her, kicking a soccer ball, playing dolls and tea parties with her. It's just gonna be a lot of fun. And traveling, and
You'll be able to go all the games, all the volleyball games, soccer,
Sure.
what have you.
sure, yeah.
Or
Exactly.
MMA. Who knows what she'll do? Who
Could
knows
be the
what
next
she'll
Ronda
do?
Rousey.
Has she? How are the dogs around her? Have you got? Probably limited interaction.
Limited interaction,
Right.
just to make sure, you don't want anything funny to happen.
Yeah,
Especially because
never.
it's a baby, they're so fragile.
Mhm.
But then again, they're not fragile at the same time. But Athena...
Only dropped 5 times, right?
Yeah, only 5 times.
Nice. That's nice.
Athena, the older dog, she recognizes the baby, and she always, whenever we let her in, the dog, Athena, she goes and looks for the baby to make sure the baby's okay. And then Cash, doesn't really understand, I think, the concept of the baby yet.
Mhm.
There's something new in the house, but do you guys want to go play fetch with me? Because I want to go play fetch with you.
Right.
Like,
He's not the golden boy anymore.
No.
So, I mean, he still is in certain ways, but
He is the only son. He's the prodigal son.
so Athena she's already established the role of guardian. She knows this little thing is mine to protect.
She'll sleep in front of the bassinet, and that's the bassinet is where Lincoln sleeps every night.
Mm-hmm.
She'll lay in front of Amanda when she's holding the baby. Nothing's happened where she has had to protect her, but I think that she would be ready at a moment's notice to protect Lincoln. Hypothetically, if there were something to happen. Where I think Cash would as well, but just Cash isn't there. He's not like sitting in front of the baby as much.
Mm-hmm. He's still young, figuring it all out.
Yeah.
He's still a young lad with no balls. Or does he?
He's still trying to figure out what the thing is attached to the back of his butt.
Chasing? Has he caught it yet?
One day.
One day he'll get it. Let's see. So I guess this is related to the day that Lincoln was born. From the moment before you saw her come out to the moment she was in your arms, she's out in the world. Did you feel a dramatic change within yourself, or was it just, this is happening, we've been preparing for it for months now, I'm ready for this? Or was there any change in your heart? Did you feel anything, like a shock or anything like that?
I don't know if there's necessarily any shock, but we've been preparing for it and looking forward to it. It just kind of now it's here. The baby's here now, and it's alive, and it's no longer in Amanda's belly. So I guess it made it a little bit more real than what it was.
Not just
but
a big
we
belly.
already knew it was coming, and there hasn't been anything that has like really taken us by surprise yet, I'd say. Right, babe? Nothing that's really like
Lincoln's
shocked us.
here and she's all asleep right now.
Yeah.
Adorable, precious. No bigger than the size of an NFL football, I'd say. Easily hiked.
Tom Brady can throw you 60 yards.
Oh, she's not as deflated as his balls. Ooh, she's all gooey. Just precious. Her eyes are closed. I already love her. She said 0 words to me. And that's okay. She's just this little bean. I don't know how else to describe it. She's just right here. And I know it's theater of the mind. I'm trying to paint this picture, but just imagine the cutest baby I've ever seen. Multiply it by 10 and wrap it in a pink blanket. There you go. She's got the hair like that crazy bald dude from Princess Bride. Inconceivable. Is that the word?
Yeah.
That's what he says. Oh, all right. Lincoln came into the world. I'm going through the notes right now. Clearly named after Abraham Lincoln.
Clearly.
Looks better than he does.
Yep.
So what is it like being parents now and already upgrading your parents to now grandparents?
I think it's pretty cool being a parent now. That part is still a little weird. Like, it's like, oh, you think of your parents and you think of like all the wisdom that they've passed on to you, and now it's your turn to pass it on to her.
You gotta take everything you learn, put it to work,
and use the good things and learn from the things that have happened in your life and the mistakes you've made and the good things you've done, and try to use that as teachable moments for her. I mean, right now she's not learning as much. She is learning a lot, but she's just, if I speak to her, I don't think she's really comprehending what's really going on yet. But at some point, she will be, and that's when I'll really have my fatherly role, and Amanda will have her motherly role. Amanda right now has done a lot of work. with feeding her and everything like that. But there's going to be a time when Lincoln's looking for advice, and Lincoln's going to be soaking up things like a sponge, and she's going to be learning from what we're doing, and that's how she's going to become the person she is later in life.
And she has some pretty good aunts on board as well.
Oh, yeah. And then she's also going to learn from her teachers and people at school, and she's going to be impressionable. She's a child, right? So she's going to be an impressionable mind.
Oh, there she is. So pure, haven't been tainted by the internet yet. It's like we were talking about earlier. I think when you're speaking to her now, she'll pick up on your positive energy. She might not understand words, but she can feel your emotion. And have you done that? There's a picture of me when I'm a baby on my dad's chest. Has she laid on your bare chest yet to feel your heartbeat and all that?
Yeah.
What's that like?
It's pretty cool. Actually, one of the coolest things I've done now as a father was feeding her. Where Amanda is all breastfed, but now we're taking some of her milk and we're putting it in bottles, and I'm feeding her. So, like, hypothetically, if we were to leave Lincoln to be babysat, she'd be able to drink milk and what have you from, like, my mom or her mom, or someone would be able to watch the baby. But it's pretty cool feeding her because she's just looking up into your eyes and you're feeding her and you're just talking to her, and it's a cool moment.
She's receiving nutrients, life.
And I also always wonder what she's thinking. She's like, "You're not the one that's supposed to be feeding me."
You're a dude. Yeah. She pay rent?
Does she pay rent?
Yeah.
Not yet.
She just shits all over you.
Yeah.
How many, on average, how many diapers do you go through a day?
That's a question for my wife.
Oh.
I think she tracks it actually.
Probably.
But like all my friends always said like 10 to 12, so I just say 10 to 12.
Lord.
But my wife's actually tracking like how much time she's fed, how many times she pees, how many times she poops. She has it on an app. So she's able to.
There is a good call for that to make sure everything's going steady. Everything's right. Oh my. To see, her poop rate has skyrocketed this month.
Or
the market's flooded with it.
Or there is no poop, so maybe it's a problem. I don't know.
I'd rather have too much than not enough.
That's right. That's right.
But I'm speaking ignorantly.
My toilet says otherwise, but
Oh, dude, every toilet your toilet's mine. It was my toilet. Moving on away from the. I guess talking about poop and pee is pretty par for the course when it comes to babies.
Yeah.
They're messy. And not to mention all the puke. Has she puked on you yet?
It's not like a puke where it's like a crazy Saturday night and they're just throwing up alcohol. It's more just they spit up the milk. So when they drink the milk, it goes down in their stomach, and then they don't know when they've had enough, and so it comes a little bit. Will come back up, but it's not. It hasn't been crazy yet. Really.
Or is it her just you think it's just the milk and she doesn't know when she's had enough, or is she establishing dominance? I mean, have you puked on her yet?
I have not puked on her yet. I have not puked or peed on her yet.
She's got the balls to do it.
Yeah, she does.
I don't know. Do you have again? It's so fresh with this new baby. Do you have more respect for what your parents went through raising you now that you got a kid of your own, big dog?
Do I have more respect? I've always had respect for my parents, even though they may not believe it sometimes. But I wonder. I wish I was a fly on the wall and I watched my parents do what I'm doing with Lincoln, because I just think it'd be interesting to see how my dad and my mom interacted with me and my siblings at that time. So I have had that wonder, but as far as respect, I've always respected what they did and the life they gave me, and the opportunities that they basically presented with me to either take or not take, and live the life that I live now.
And what a blessing it is to have them, Uncle Rico's football throwaway, to take care of her, and I'm sure they love that too, to have her so close.
15 minutes is not very far at all.
But on 101,
no, it's not bad.
It could be 3 days. No. That would. And how happy are they to just? There's a new baby in their life. They're grandparents now.
My mom is just. I think all four of the grandparents are just thrilled beyond belief. They can't get enough of the baby, and like I said, Lincoln can't do any wrong right now. Mm-hmm. The grandparents, I feel like, have the same thought: is she's perfect. There's nothing she can do wrong. I just want to be around her. I love being around her. She's a lot of fun, even though she doesn't do much.
Yeah, I mean, she just is cute. I think that's her job. That's what she gets paid the big bucks.
Yeah, maybe.
So you were mentioning down the line of when she is in need of advice, and when life throws her obstacles, you're gonna help her get over them. one of which obstacles will be either a boyfriend or a girlfriend or anything in between.
Sure.
You know, it's 2019.
2019. She could be dating a donkey.
Could be anything. Who's to judge? But say, just for the sake of the conversation, she's dating a guy in high school.
Okay.
What are you going to do to torture him or to make him... are you going to just be sitting there shining this here gun?
Well, there'll be that. So I'll be shining my gun and cleaning it. And I'll be telling him, hey, can you please look down the barrel to make sure there's no bullet inside? And then after that, I'm going to I have this notebook that I've been writing about all the funny times that she sharded. And I'm going to go over the dates that she sharded with the boy or
Naturally.
what have you. And then I'm going to talk about all her embarrassing moments. And
Are you talking about your embarrassing moments? Just like, let me tell you about the time I wrote my captain a letter. We won't talk about that.
that wasn't my captain. That was my background officer.
Background officer. That'll be a private podcast.
Yeah, that's a private podcast.
No recording.
That was funny though.
No, but that'll be fun. You'll be able to sit there and guide and judge who she brings to the table, so to speak.
It's just like if you were dating someone, right? It's weird to think about now, right? Because she's got so much more life to live before that happens. But say if you brought over a girl and was like, hey, Kerry, this is my girlfriend, or this is my fiance or boyfriend or whatever.
Maybe.
And for me, with you, it's as long as you're happy and it's not like an evil person, right? Mm-hmm. If you are happy with the person and I feel like they are not ruining your life in any sort of way where they're causing you to commit crimes or put your life in jeopardy or lose, let's say if you had a huge fortune and they're just taking your money. As long as it's something not like that and you're happy with them and you have a happy life, that's what's going to make me happy. And that's with my friend, and I feel like that would be also with my daughter, with whoever she chooses in life if she ever...
As long as she's happy.
Yeah. I think that's more important than... if she ends up marrying a rich guy or a rich girl or a poor guy or a poor girl, what does that even matter as long as she goes home and she's happy with him?
You can't buy extra happiness.
If she's married to some guy that's beating her and causing domestic violence incidents, then that's when I am not happy. But as long as that's not happening and it's all like just happiness, then
you'll be
good.
A captain by then. You can make somebody disappear and not the bay claims another one.
Where's the closest marsh, huh?
Yeah, we know. Marshawn Lynch. Eat him alive. But that is very true to find somebody, not only for your daughter, but it's interesting what you said. Like, because you look out for your friends. You've always been a very loyal friend, and just to want absolute happiness for them. And that's what I've come to find is you don't want somebody... if they're just smoking hot or there's something valuable to them, as long as they add to your life, you create your own happiness. And if they're able to add to that and not suck the life out of you, I'd say la vie. That's a good one to keep.
Agreed.
That's why I like them. You add juice to my life, Kerry. There's been friends that I've had the past, I don't know, I've done my emotional inventory, and there's just some people like, yeah, you've had in your life, but if they're adding no juice to your life, if they're a negative aura that sucks away whatever positivity when you hang out with them, it's like why keep somebody in your life if they add no juice?
Makes sense.
I try to add juice. I try to be juicy. You squeeze me all the time, Kerry.
What's your favorite juice?
I like the peach mango.
I knew you were going to do some sort of
sugary, delicious, and I don't do pulp. Get it out of here. Don't even get me
some of my teeth. Get some of my teeth.
Teeth, and it's just unbecoming of a juice. So, moving on, Kerry. All right, I'm going to get a little real. Real. You are SFPD. You a bad motherfucker.
That's what it says on my shoulders?
Yes, sir. And again, she's only been here for a month, but do you find your mentality going into work different of the risks that you may or may not have taken? Say if you were like it's just you and Amanda, or even if you were single, having a daughter now, does that change the way you approach your job?
Not really at all, actually. So far, like I always approach it the same way. I'm not saying that now I'm living a more careful life. I think I've always been careful while I've been on the streets.
You're not going out getting into gunfights and
if that happens,
for trouble.
that happens.
Yeah.
But I mean, exactly. I'm not looking to shoot someone. I never have been. I'm not looking to. I'm just looking to
arrest bad guys and do my job and clean up the streets and help the citizens of San Francisco as best as I can.
One of the better times, probably the most endearing times I've seen you do your job. We're both communication majors out of Sonoma State. Oh, yes.
Sure.
And I saw you put that to work in your uniform. We went and got lunch one time. You're on duty. And we went to that Greek place.
Yes.
Off a mission.
Yes.
And part of, I don't know if it's directly part of your job description, but the community relations. You went in there and you spoke to all of them. You got to know the people behind their cooking. They were all a family.
What was his name?
Luis?
Yeah, the Hispanic guy was Luis, and then there's Chris, and yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And it's what kind of they gave you some like samples and stuff. You built rapport with this family that ran the restaurant.
Exactly.
You know, and it just sucks when you see the news paint such a terrible picture all the time when there's little things like the videos of the cops playing basketball in the street or like I saw one cop burn a kid on a pass route. He catches it with one hand and seeing everybody go crazy. I eat that up. I feel like there needs to be more of that put out.
And that happens more than you know, right? It happens every day. And cops are real humans. And unfortunately, the media, they make cops look like robots and cops look like pieces of meat. And even sometimes police departments treat cops like pieces of meat and they're just a number. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of stereotypes that come with it. But each cop's a human, right? And they have families. Like you guys just heard that I have a daughter and a wife and I have a couple dogs, just like a lot of other people in this world. But you put on the badge, and this also goes to show with people that vote for Donald Trump or don't vote for Donald Trump or vote for Hillary Clinton or don't vote for Hillary Clinton. And there's just people that hate each other just because of the shirt they wear or the uniform they wear or the person they support, even though they have more in common with them than they do with the other people that also support a presidential candidate or a baseball team or a soccer team. It's just people are funny and quick to judge and quick to hate, and it's unfortunate. In the media, I feel like also fuels the fire, and because it gets ratings, they want to get the ratings.
That's
so
what it's all about.
What
baby.
looks good because the ratings. How do they get the ratings? What do they do with the ratings? They show their ratings to potential advertising companies. The advertising companies invest into their news station, and then
whatever fits the agenda, right?
They get rich off it. Yeah, exactly. And
has anybody stopped you and said, "Hey, I disagree with what cops are doing these days. Can I have a conversation with you or have a ride along?" Has that ever happened where people are just nobody wants to have a conversation? They'll pass judgment without even getting to know you.
There have been some people that want to have conversations, but they don't want to have conversations. They say they want to have conversations, but they're fake. They're just saying it just so maybe they feel better. But when you try talking with them, they're very stubborn and they don't listen to you. And not that necessarily listen to you, but they also are not hearing you out. They're just their way or it's the highway. They have already rooted their feet into the ground, and that's what they're...
You are absolutely right. When people are quick to judge, they're quick to hate and see whatever it is on the news and do no research because it's convenient. It's quick. They're able to feel a certain way and just stick to it because God help them if they do any research or try to empathize with what the other side is going through. Personally, I would never want to empathize or talk to a Klan member. Hey, what's going on over there? Why do you believe the way you do? There's a fine line between Klan member and regular member of society.
Sure.
And it just sucks that it's so volatile all the time, especially in San Francisco.
Yeah.
People are it's shrouded with PC culture. It's the outrage culture is rampant, and it sucks. You can't really say what you want to say anymore because you have to doctor your words to not offend anybody. And then by the time you're done, they're not really your words anymore, not really what you mean to say.
Yeah, and it's kind of sad. Like, people aren't able to say their opinions without getting some sort of repercussion.
You can say them here if you want, Kerry. We're the only two listening to it, although there'll be more. But that's what I'll say to anybody that I'll talk to, interview, have a conversation with. Just truly say your mind. And if there's blowback, there's probably going to be people that, no matter how PC you are, they're going to get upset. Why are you being so PC? They'll no matter what you say, people are going to get pissed off with it.
This is right. This
And
is true.
It's what a sad life to live, being so angry all the time.
This is very true.
What else do I have here? Cop question I was gonna ask. So if we may swing back to the Lincoln log, Elaine, I was gonna ask Amanda, what's it like getting to know your daughter, but what's it like for you getting to know? Yes, you said she doesn't do much, but you're getting to know this tiny little sleepy baby.
Yeah.
I don't know. What does it feel like just being around her and getting to know her, so to speak?
It's cool. It can get tiring. I mean, you definitely aren't able to do everything that you're doing before the child, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's more speaks for Amanda too, because like she hasn't even been able to go back to work yet. I've already gone back to work.
Are you able to play as much soccer as you were with the police department?
Yes, I have. I've missed a couple things, but nothing really. But as far as like other things in life, you're just not able to do like overtime. I haven't done any overtime since we've had the kid.
You're putting in enough. You're just not getting paid for it.
Yeah, exactly. I've not been able to work out as much as I'd like to.
You look great though, by the way.
Oh, thank you. We haven't been able to go out to dinner, Amanda and I, yet because you're with the kid. So there's just things that happen in life that they have to take a little backseat or just change them, but it's for the better.
Mm-hmm.
It has to happen, unless if you like got Kim Kardashian money and you can pay for an au pair to watch the kid, but we don't have it. At least my bank account doesn't show it. Amanda might have it in a secret bank account. She just hasn't told me about it.
She told me it's quite large.
It is.
She's ready to bounce, dude. So just mind your P's and Q's.
Yeah.
But could you imagine? You hear all these horror stories of these nannies raising these parents' kids. Maybe it's a blessing in disguise that you don't have 18 figures in your bank account because you're able to not only you're forced to, but I feel like you and Amanda are the type of people that want to be part of every part of Lincoln's life. You don't want to let somebody else raise your child.
No, and that's what's it's also very special. Like, even though we've seen her, Amanda has been with her basically almost every moment since she's been born. It's already been a month and 3 days, and it's already been too quick. It's like, oh, stop growing,
dude.
We like you how you are. Don't just relax, But then we also get excited about what's to come. But it's just kind of crazy how quick she's already a month and 3 days old. In a couple weeks, she'll already be 2 months, and then a couple months she'll be 6 months, and then a couple more months she'll be a year. A couple more years she'll be 5 years old, going to kindergarten. A couple more years she'll be graduating high school. A couple more years she'll be getting married. Right?
Don't think about that just yet. Slow it down,
yeah,
you wild animal. Yeah. Well, let's think into the future a little bit, and by that I mean like a month. Her first Halloween is coming.
Yeah.
What is she gonna be? A little 4-leaf clover or something? Yeah, damn Irishman.
Actually, we haven't got a costume yet. I'm gonna be probably gone for Halloween. I usually go to Colorado every year, but next year it's actually changing, so I'll be there for every other Halloween.
You going killing? You going elk hunting?
Going elk hunting and deer hunting.
Ooh-wee.
And I don't think we have an outfit for her yet, but she doesn't really know what's going on. Next year, she might know what Halloween is. She probably will know what Halloween is, but as far as this year, she's just like whatever she gets dressed up is like the same thing that she was dressed up on Monday and she's on Tuesday, right?
I was a pumpkin for years when I was little.
Sure.
I was like,
if Amanda and I dressed her up tomorrow and took a photo of us three like in Halloween outfits, we could have just said, hey, this was Halloween, but really, whatever, it doesn't matter. She plays dress up every day.
There it is.
She puts a new outfit on every day.
My mama, Debbie Gertz, a.k.a. 51, because she owns 51% of Papa's company.
Good.
So I guess it's her company.
It is her company.
She balls out on Halloween costumes. So if you ever needed some help or a little some sewing help or anything like that, Mama Gertz got your back.
Mama Gertz got my back.
Got you. Clack, clack, she's got your back.
I love Mama Gertz.
I was going to ask Amanda, what's it like feeling a human grow inside you? But what was it like? You're just with her every step of the way, just seeing this
well, sometimes like
metamorphosis.
You feel kind of like helpless because she's in pain, and even now,
you just gotta suck her toes.
I try to do as much as I can, and I offer to help in every way I think I can, and it's still just like not enough to compare what she's doing. And
nothing really you can do.
You try to do what you can do, but then there's other things that you can't do.
Right.
And especially when she was growing the baby and she's going through these contractions and she couldn't like if she wanted to go on a run, she couldn't go on a run. She's got a freaking human growing in her.
She crush your hand with her contraction? Like was she squeezing your hand?
No, she was not squeezing my hand. At that point she had to get some pain medicine because she'd been in labor so long.
Could you handle over a day of labor and contractions and excruciating pain? Like, have you seen the videos of those guys that put on the muscle contractions that simulate the contractions?
I have seen those videos. It's pretty funny. Do I think I could have done it? I think if I go to Mount Everest, I could probably climb Mount Everest tomorrow. But having a baby, I don't know.
Let's get real.
I don't know if I could. The woman body is amazing. Just the fact that they're able to grow a human is incredible.
It's incredible, yet it betrays them.
Yeah, I mean,
in so many other ways.
All the guy does is just give a donation.
That's all it is, and you sit back, smoke a joint, and just watch the show for 9 months.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like, wow. And it's just it was just awesome hearing like once she's healthy, I'm sure a lot of anxiety leaves.
Yeah.
Like, okay, baby's healthy, happy, mom's healthy and happy. Carrie's healthy and happy.
Well, that was like the only scares when they said like the heartbeat wasn't going and they raced him in there. That's because that's the only thing that matters. Because we didn't know the sex of the baby. We didn't want to know any. Like they were like, oh, you can do blood work to see if the baby's gonna be autistic or that or this. And I don't think we're even out of the woodworks to see if the baby possibly still could have some sort of mental or physical disability. You don't know that until they're older. But it's like, who cares? I'm gonna love this kid regardless.
No matter what.
The sex of the baby, who cares? What are you gonna put it back if I wanted a boy?
It's like, nope. Hold on.
Yeah.
All right, I want to ask you: you were expecting a boy?
I did predict it was gonna be a boy.
Was there any?
So
you
now
can't
I'm
be
completely
disappointed in this child. There's no disappointment where you're like, oh well, I still love her.
More along the lines of my hunch was off. I was like,
you're more disappointed in yourself.
Of my hunch, not in the fact that it's a girl. I can care less.
Yeah.
I just wanted it to be healthy, and as of right now, she's been very healthy. So, those are the only things that mattered. Was because you don't want to have a kid, and if you do have a kid, you have a kid, and you just live life, and you have to go with it. But if you don't want to see your kid have some sort of physical disability or mental disability, because you feel for the kid because they might not be able to do the other things that other kids are able to do, and you're like, I wish, and they just want to probably do those things. They want to be
Absolutely.
normal. That's all they care about. Where other kids are worrying about, I want to be the fastest kid or I want to be the strongest kid. Where they just want to be normal and just be like the rest of the kids. And that's the only thing you care about, because now it's your kid and you want them to have the chance to be the fastest or the strongest or the smartest or win the science fair or win the spelling contest. And so that's what you just hope and pray for. And so far we've been blessed.
Absolutely. I mean, she looks good to me. And I've seen her face. I've saw some stretching. I do think we take our ability to walk to, like, you and I are athletic growing up. We did sports for everything. And then, I don't know. I don't want to say I take it for granted, but you see people with disabilities or with one leg or prosthetics or that dude from the Steelers, Scherzer? Ryan Scherzer.
Ryan Shazier.
Sazier. When I saw that live, I didn't think that dude was even alive.
Yeah.
And seeing him walk out in the ESPYs, you think that dude takes his not only his athletic ability, but the ability to walk, to feed yourself.
Not anymore.
Lest you're either Odell Beckham Jr. or you're Stephen Hawking.
Yeah.
Right? It's
you
talk
don't,
about taking
I think
things for granted.
when something like that happens in your life, you don't take things for granted as much. And you're no longer, like, I crashed into a tree, I broke my back, right?
That's
like,
you definitely did that.
And before that moment, I felt invincible. And today I still feel invincible because I survived that, right?
Yes.
But it just also makes you look at life in a different light. And I think a lot of the people today, like in those athletic fields, they think they're God, right? They're like, oh, I'm in the NFL, I'm on TV.
Drew Brees and Ben Roethlisberger don't anymore.
No, they don't.
Shysters. So we'll wrap this bad boy up because we're getting ready. We're going to dirty little Zach's birthday.
Bakary Zohejan
Ew.
turning 27 years old.
27? It's gross.
I think so.
What advice would you have for expecting parents or any
Just like
anybody
the same advice
coming
I
into the
give
game.
to people getting married or people getting engaged. Just, I mean, the wedding and the engagement is only one day, so you just have to just enjoy that one day. But just whenever you have a baby, you just want to enjoy every day and enjoy every moment. Like I laugh when she cries, and I think it's the cutest thing. Sure, sometimes it like can get a little overwhelming because she just keeps crying and crying and you're trying to fix it, but you just got to enjoy the moment and just, hey, this moment's not going to be here forever, so let's enjoy this time while she's this young and she's not walking around or crawling around, and just love her for who she is right now, and then enjoy right now, because once she passes this, she's never going to be like this again. And yes, we might have other kids, but those kids are going to have their own individual sort of personalities, and so we just got to enjoy her every day.
It's good you have the foresight to have the compassion and value this time now.
Yeah.
Because you ain't gonna get these days back.
No.
Yeah, no.
Already saw 33 of them go.
33, good lord. Could you imagine? I was thinking about this halfway through. Like you're at the ripe old age. You're an adult, having a kid. Could you imagine having a kid at like you're in high school? You're 15, and you just first time. Whoops. Have a baby in high school, and you're still a kid yourself. Could you imagine that?
I mean, I still feel like a kid. Like, I still think I'm my parents' little boy, and I'm just still a child, but now I'm technically adult, right? That's what...
You've leveled up for sure.
Yeah, that's
for damn sure.
That's what they say, right? And those people, that are like 15, 16 that have kids, they really have to grow up fast, right? Because... And... I just think it's tough on them, and it's tough on everyone, but it's tougher because they are still in high school, or they have to drop out of high school, they have to get a job, and what a lot of people their age are not doing yet, right? So very difficult.
Use a condom, you're saying?
Oh,
Yeah, it's quiet.
or just wait until marriage. That's what my
Wait.
priest says.
Yes, sir. But I feel like there's been a lot of good valuable insight with this whole thing.
I hope so.
No, yes. Well, next time we can hear her. She's causing a ruckus.
She's
but
trying to get on the mic. Check 212.
She ain't getting on the mic. No girls allowed. I think, have I had a girl on yet? Yes. My cousin's girlfriend was on once.
Ah.
So was Maddie. Yeah, there's been girls on the podcast. It's not just a total sausage fest. We're wholesome.
We're wholesome.
By we, I mean me. But I think this was a doozy of a first podcast. Many more to come. We can talk more football at latter times.
Very, very good.
And then years from now, we can talk about your perspective with one child. And then when you have the starting lineup, seeing how much crazier you've become.
Sounds
How
good
much
to me,
really
buddy.
It's going to be a rule with an iron fist around these parts.
Sounds good to me.
Usually, so my sign off, I don't know if I am totally in love with it. Usually I say live before you die. But it's a little dark. I was also thinking of
You are dark.
booyah.
Booyah.
That's always good. But like the purpose of this podcast, I want people to. This is something that I never thought. Oh yeah, a podcast would be cool. I don't really have the balls to do it, but now screw it, I'm gonna do it. I want other people to pursue whatever side hustles they want to do, or something they never thought they'd do. Whether it's a podcast or painting a mural, doing whatever it is with their life they didn't think they'd do. So I want to ask people the sign off. It's like, do you?
Do you?
Do you?
Do you? Did you just say do?
I could, if you want to. But do you? Ask yourself that
the sign
question.
off, I don't know. I don't know what the proper sign off is. I don't really listen to podcasts. I like booyah,
Booyah's good.
grandma. I like to say at work when I'm walking out of the locker room, I just say till next time. But I mean, say whatever you
this
want.
whole thing.
Say, do you? You gotta do you.
Do you?
I'm gonna do me, and you can do you. So teach me how to Dougie. Teach me how to Dougie.
I will not teach you. I don't even know the Dougie. But that's the namesake of this thing. It's called trial and error. It's just mess up, screw up,
There you go.
fail, learn, and keep going.
There you go.
Keep pushing. Look at the Niners.
Look at the
2-0.
Niners. Undefeated.
The season hangs by a ligament. Yeah,
By a few
but
ligaments.
don't they all? Yeah. But all right, Kerry. Well, give me a classic booyah. We'll see what that does.
Booyah.
All right. Thank you, Kerry. We're signing off. Mwah.